The story begins at the biggest martial arts school in the city, Master Tin's school. At the time, the students were preparing for the annual colored line competition. Suddenly, the seamstress entered with the competition costumes. In that moment, Master Tin and the students heard a crushing sound, and tragically, the one who was injured was the tiger, the strongest student in the school, who was supposed to compete in the colored line competition. The next day, the line competition was organized, and people gathered in the streets of China. First, the rival martial arts school arrived for the competition, disguised as a black lion. Master Tin had only one option: to choose the student dragon, the tiger's younger brother, to represent his school's yellow lion. We learned that all the city's residents bet all their money on the yellow lion's victory, believing the tiger was competing, unaware that the failed student dragon was the one performing. Midway through the competition, Dragon and his friend were outperforming the rival black lion, thanks to the encouragement of Master Tin and the students. But suddenly, Dragon helped his rival yellow lion opponent, causing his school to lose for no reason. Moreover, all the city residents lost their money and began to hate Dragon for his stupidity and failure. Afterward, we see the tiger, Dragon's brother, meeting Suk, the owner of the rival school, and taking money from him. When all the students returned to the school, Master Tin was furious with all of them, especially Dragon, for bringing shame to him and damaging his reputation across the city. Because of this, he severely punished him. That evening, the tiger appeared, and we learned that he and Dragon were orphans since childhood and that Master Tin had raised them as his own sons. The tiger asked his brother to do something bad, and despite knowing it was wrong, Dragon carried out his brother's request. Seconds after Dragon left, Master Tin suddenly woke up and saw Dragon looking scared and distressed. Dragon moved with lightning speed to allow the tiger to escape. The tiger successfully fled, but unfortunately, Dragon was the one caught in the predicament. Master Tin and all the students saw him in a room with a courtesan. Master Tin severely beat him, utterly breaking him. Despite Dragon being innocent, he refused to expose his older brother. But suddenly, the master saw an envelope of money with the seal of the rival Master Suk's school on it. At that moment, the tiger was exposed before everyone, and it was revealed that he had betrayed them for money. Master Tin told him, "You were an orphan and couldn't eat, and I took you in, raised you, taught you, and let you live in my house. And in the end, you betray me for money." The tiger felt deep sorrow and regretted his actions, deciding to flee, leave his brother Dragon, and never return to the school. As for Dragon, his heart was broken for his older brother, fearing he would become homeless. As soon as the tiger left Master Tin's school, he was forced to go to the rival Master Suk's school looking for work. When he arrived, Suk told him the job he wanted was no longer available. The tiger felt anger and decided to leave, but at the very last second, Suk offered him a deal that could lead him to betray Master Tin's school and completely destroy it. The next morning, Master Tin was at a Chinese tea house with one of his disciples, and at the same time, Master Suk was present. A student from the rival school mocked one of Master Tin's students because they had lost the colored lion competition due to the failed dragon. The humiliated student tried to retaliate, but the person from the rival school insulted him and defeated him. Master Tin felt great shame because most of his students were failures and weak, and the strongest among them, the tiger, had fled. Following this, Tin gathered all his disciples and told the student who was beaten, "I have spent 20 years teaching you kung fu, and you don't know how to defend yourself." He grabbed a stick and beat him without mercy, as the student was negligent and a failure in his training. At one point, another student said that the tiger should not have left because he was very strong. As soon as Master Tin heard this, he became furious and violently beat the other student. In a split second, Dragon broke his silence, and the volcano of grief inside him erupted. He told the master, "You raised me and my brother the tiger when we were young, but I'm sorry, I cannot live without my brother." Master Tin understood him and told him to leave the school and not return until he was with his brother, the tiger. Dragon decided to head to Master Suk's school to search for his brother. However, he encountered the local bully. The bully mocked him, thinking he was weak because he had lost the lion competition, and insulted him, calling him stupid and an orphan. Dragon initially tried to compose himself until the bully aggressively attacked him with lightning speed. Fortunately, Dragon managed to dodge him. Dragon's power then emerged using the destructive folding fan weapon, and he completely overwhelmed the bully. Before he could finish him off, the school's owner appeared and told him they knew nothing about his brother, the tiger. Dragon apologized for the mess he made and left. At the same time, the tiger agreed with Master Sook's men to set a trap for the police and free the most dangerous criminal in the country. The tiger and Master Sook's men stood against the soldiers like lions. In a moment, the tiger used the devastating folding fan technique, completely destroying anyone who stood in his way. Master Sook's men began freeing the criminal. After minutes of fighting, they managed to release the monster himself, a criminal named Cammy. Cammy was the most dangerous criminal and thief in the city, whose power no one could defeat. He burst out of that fighting hell in seconds like lightning and destroyed all of them. He then joined Master Sook, and they left the area. Unfortunately, two officers realized that the tiger, the one with the folding fan, had been with them. At this time, Dragon was wandering the market, asking people about his brother, the tiger. Unfortunately, Dragon was carrying a kung fu fan exactly like his brother's. The guards mistook him for the one who freed the dangerous criminal. The guards secretly gathered without notifying the police, hoping to claim the financial reward for his capture. The guards attempted to subdue Dragon, but they didn't know he was an unbeatable kung fu master. The head guard drew his sharp sword and fiercely attacked him. From the start, Dragon confronted them with tremendous skill. The head guard was shocked by Dragon's deadly power and skill. At that moment, he decided to flee to seek the help of the most dangerous young man in the city, Sam Kong. The head guard headed to Sam's house to ask for his assistance, but Sam's sister, Lynn, opened the door. The head guard told her everything that happened. Suddenly, Sam appeared and learned from the head guard that Dragon, the one with the folding fan, had defeated them all. Sam decided to face him head-to-head, but his sister Lynn told him not to cause any trouble so that his father Kong would not punish him. At the same time, Dragon had defeated the remaining guards and headed to the forest to search for his brother, the tiger. But suddenly, Sam appeared like a ghost and tried to block his path. Dragon mistook him for a thief and warned him, "Watch out. I am no easy opponent." And here the fight begins. Right from the start, we see Sam Kong using a wooden chair in combat. Unfortunately, it turned out that this wooden chair was impregnable, and Dragon could not counter it at all. So, Dragon seized the first opportunity to escape and fled with lightning speed. As Dragon was running, he encountered an old man on his path. He sat with him to refresh himself and drink some Chinese tea. Dragon began telling the old man everything that had happened to him that day and how he would fight anyone he met. The old man then told him that he had paid a large sum of money to capture a dangerous criminal named Cammy. At that very moment, Sam Kong appeared. The old man then described Sam as a troublemaker who caused problems. As soon as Dragon heard that, he decided to teach Sam a lesson and train him to avenge the old man. Indeed, the real fight between the two began. Initially, Sam launched a deadly, offensive whirlwind using the wooden chair. But Dragon had learned from his mistakes and was no longer an easy opponent like before. He started studying Sam's movements to gain an advantage over him. But in a flash of a second, Sam completely defeated him. Here, the old man decided to advise Dragon, telling him to use a wooden stick to defeat his opponent. Dragon actually took the old man's advice, utterly defeated Sam, and taught him a lesson. Furthermore, he insulted Sam's father, claiming he failed to raise him properly. Suddenly, something strange happened. The old man turned out to be Sam's father. As soon as Dragon realized this, he was stunned and didn't know how to react. Sam's father, named Kong, was the city's police chief. When he learned from his son that Dragon was the one with the folding fan, he decided to arrest him along with his son. Unfortunately, Kong tied him up and took him to hand over to the police. While the two were on the way, Dragon tried to set a trap for Kong, claiming he would die if he didn't go to the bathroom. Kong let him go. In that moment, Dragon ran like crazy, hoping to escape. But he didn't know that Kong was much smarter than him, and he caused Dragon to fall into a very deadly pit. When this happened, Dragon began to plead with Kong to save his life. Initially, Kong told him, "You did this to yourself, and if you want to live, pull yourself out of this spot." But at the last moment, his heart softened, and he saved his life. Dragon took advantage of the opportunity, caught Kong off guard, and ran away from the place at his highest speed. Unfortunately, Dragon reached Kong's house, not knowing it was his home. The person who opened the door was Lin, Sam's sister. At first, Lin was holding a stick to be cautious, but as soon as she saw Dragon, she was reassured by his kind appearance and let him inside to wash up. While he was washing up, Lin left to shop in the city. At the same time, Kong managed to get out of the pit and returned home. He was desperate to find Dragon to eliminate him completely. He headed to the bathroom to wash up, unaware that Dragon was right next to him. At that moment, Dragon finished washing and changed his clothes, but he was surprised to find the house floor dirty. Without thinking, he decided to clean it thoroughly. Meanwhile, Kong finished and came out into the house. In a flash, he collided with Dragon. The two argued verbally until Kong told him the only solution was to finish him off using his sword. Indeed, the combat epic began between Dragon and Kong, the city's police chief. Initially, we see that Kong is a professional with the sword, and despite being an old man, he dominated Dragon. But with time, Dragon discovered his weak spot, Kong's carved staff with the royal seal. Of course, Dragon seized the opportunity and began threatening to break it. But in the end, Kong's daughter, Lin, appeared like a ghost and was shocked to see Dragon fighting her father. She grabbed him and relentlessly beat him from all sides, as she was a master of authentic Chinese kung fu. She and her father managed to subdue Dragon and arrested him. After Kong finally arrested Dragon, he took him with his son Sam, heading to jail. Dragon told them he would die if he didn't go to the bathroom. So, Kong left him alone and asked his son Sam to keep an eye on him. Here, Dragon exploited the opportunity and began brilliantly climbing the debris with unparalleled skill. But in the end, Sam caught him like a mouse and restrained him from all directions. At this time, Master Suk met Kong and informed him that he had arrested the real criminal who freed the monster Cammy. This criminal turned out to be the tiger, Dragon's brother. As soon as Kong heard this, he took his son and rushed to the city at his fastest speed. As for Dragon, he remained tied up. But when he saw Master Suk, he decided to secretly follow him. He witnessed him planning with Cammy to betray his brother, the tiger. At the same time, the tiger was betrayed from behind and thrown into jail like a dog. Dragon managed to escape the restraints and disguised himself as a weak old man to free his brother from prison. But first, he had to fight Master Suk's guards. From the start of the fight, Master Suk's guards took advantage of him being old, thinking he was weak and unable to defend himself. But they didn't know he was a young man in his prime. He began fighting them fiercely in the middle of the market. All the city's residents were impressed by the old man, Dragon's skills. In the end, he easily defeated Master Suk's guards, took the prison keys from them, and finally freed his brother, the tiger. At that moment, he decided to take his brother to the city's police chief, Kong, and inform him that his brother was innocent. When the two arrived, unfortunately, Kong did not believe them and decided to arrest the tiger. Dragon then told him, "If I capture Cammy, the most dangerous fighter in all of China, will you free my brother?" Kong laughed at his words, thinking Dragon was weak, but he eventually agreed. At this time, Cammy was dividing a large treasure of gold and silver with Master Suk. But in a moment, Cammy became greedy and decided to betray Suk to take all the wealth for himself. At the same time, the legendary young master, Dragon, appeared. Without fear, he told Cammy, the most dangerous fighter in the country, "You're going back to jail, and justice will prevail, you dog." Cammy nearly died laughing and completely disregarded his words. But in the end, the fight will decide the matter between the two. Indeed, Dragon attacked him ferociously because he had mocked him and belittled his strength. As for Cammy, he was right to laugh because he literally grabbed Dragon and completely broke his bones. When this happened, the young master began advising Dragon on how to defeat his opponent. But even after Dragon took the young master's advice, he could not withstand the power of the superhuman hero Cammy, until he completely lost hope and knew this would be his end, and his brother, the tiger, would be unjustly imprisoned for life. But something unexpected happened. The young master had a magic drink which he gave to Dragon. As soon as he drank it, he turned into a fighting machine that knew nothing but destruction. Here, Cammy doubted his abilities for a few seconds and knew that Dragon was not an easy opponent at all. After minutes of fighting, Dragon gathered his strength and finished off Cammy in seconds. Moreover, he restrained the young master because he turned out to be corrupt and a thief. He carried the two of them on his shoulder. Afterward, his brother, the tiger, was freed and returned to Master Tin's school safely.